I'm doing today is just fixing broken wires that I found and wires that have been added in which don't need to be there. There was wires coming off there and wires coming off there which I've cut off. What I'm going to do is disconnect all this and then resolder the wires back together and put a bit of heat shrink on them. So I just need a bit of a how-to on it because I recently learned how to solder, so I thought I may as well share it with you lot. What I'm doing is, off the old loom, I've managed to get these wires out of this plug. As you can see, I've got a spare one here. So these are a bit too short. They need stripping back to about there to give me clean wire, so it'll be too short. So really I'm jammy. I'm using this little torque split thing. Put it in, get on the pin. There's a little clip inside there. It comes out like that then. And this one just pushes in. Done. So what I can do is now, I can cut these back to about there, and then do the same with these then. Cut them a bit longer, and then I can solder them together. Like that. Nice fresh wires to work with. I'll show you the process now of soldering them. It's quite easy really. What you need to do first is get some heat shrink, which you think's about the right size. Slide it over. You want to keep it as far away as possible because if this gets hot, when this gets hot, it starts to melt this. It starts to shrink too soon. Then just spread them out a touch like that. And what the plan will be, spread those out a touch. We'll interlock them like this. Like that. That's the plan. That's how it'll be. Then we'll solder that together. First, bit of flux. Get a bit of flux on the wires. Got the flux on there now. Just give it a bit of a spread. And that's ready to solder now. You can get a little clamp which can hold the wires, which makes it easier, but I don't have one. What you do is you add a bit of solder to the end of the soldering pin, whatever you want to call it, and then you give it a wipe off on a damp sponge just to clean the end off, but I've already done this just to speed the video up. Basically, you want to get that on there, heat up the wiring. As soon as the flux starts to bubble and go in, not long after, the solder will melt. I'll see if I can show you now. Just keep trying to add it. It's going in now, look. Because of the flux, it goes in on its own. It's quite easy, just spread it about a bit. And that's it done. That's like still hot, but that wire's not coming apart. It's solid. So that's pretty much it. You can add something on this like a barrier, but I don't have any. So then basically slide your heat shrink tube up. Watch you don't pierce it. Slide it over to about there. That's all good. Get a lighter or whatever you have, and just shrink it down. And that's it. And you got yourself a little tidy joint there. That's not going to come apart, and it's sealed. It's all nice and secure. So yeah, that's the way you should really reconnect the wires if you've got any broken wires. What I'll do after then, I'll put it back inside the casing once this one's done, and I'll just put fresh tape around it all just to keep it sealed. But this will never come apart. It is absolutely solid, and you'll never have issues with this corroding or anything like that. So that's the way you should do the wiring. Well, that's all done now. So all I'm going to do is get this sheath. It's the original sheath, but I had to cut it. Feed the wires back into it. And that's it now. Just wrap it all up so it looks tidy, and it just keeps it all good, just to stop it chafing on stuff, and better finish. Right, I'll see you in the next video.